Okay, so everyone be aware, this is full of spoilers. It's gonna spoil everything about Infinity War. Just be aware, this is a warning. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, and this is my spoiler chat, talk, discussion, whatever the hell you want to call it, on the Avengers Infinity War. Everyone is dead. Well, not everyone, but like half of the Avengers are dead. All of the Guardians are dead, almost, and even my beloved Spider-Man died. The one character that I was definitely sure was definitely safe. Marvel takes its chances big with Infinity War, and I respect that so much. It boldly makes some tough decisions and proves to be braver than what some might expect in regards to offing characters and shocking audiences. And because of this, essentially, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as it is right now after Infinity War and before any of its next sequels, is broken. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know where we go from here, and it's honestly kind of thrilling. But look, let's be honest. It's probably all going to come together again pretty easily. They'll probably undo just about everything in some super convenient way in some upcoming film, by use of the Time Stone or any other magical way that they can. I'm sure at least almost everyone is going to come back in no time. But before the next films come out, audiences just have to wait, sit and wallow, contemplating where we'll go from here, and theorizing the shit out of every meaning behind every single thing. But the uncertainty is something kind of new here. A cliffhanger is an interesting way to go, and I have no doubt it'll piss off some viewers too. I myself loved this ending. I wasn't quite ready for it though. I didn't realize that they'd actually commit to it. So while the ending was like occurring, I was sure that the movie had another like half hour or so to go to like wrap everything up, fix everything. But nope, as of right now, the MCU is wide open. I feel like I need to see this movie again for this reason, to truly prepare myself, to truly accept that, Spider-Man ends in this movie as a dead guy. Another thing that I wanted to mention was that Doctor Strange saving Tony is interesting. I've seen some people theorizing that this perhaps means that Tony Stark is the key to fixing everything in the end. As Doctor Strange put it, there was only 1 out of like 4 million ways or some shit, so saving Stark seemed to be vital. Another thing that I need to scream about, again, I already mentioned it, but Spider-Man's death scene, because it's heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, painful. It kills me inside because it's Spider-Man. I can't handle it, but also because Tom Holland's begging and pleading is done so phenomenally. It goddamn hurts. I truly buy into him just being this kid who doesn't deserve it all, this fate. He's scared and helpless. It's kind of haunting if I'm being honest. One complaint that I do have regarding lack of character in Infinity War is that it could have used a lot more Captain America. Look, he was surely in it and had some really cool scenes, such as his first introduction and his face-off with Thanos himself, but there wasn't actually that much character work going on behind him. He had a few lines to sort of explain where he was going and how he's changed since we last saw him, but his presence was smaller than I would have expected. One more minor complaint that I had that I was a bit disappointed by is that the climax of the film took place on Wakanda. If only just because the last film in the MCU also had its climax take place in Wakanda. It's fine, it wasn't a big deal, but 2 movies in a row felt like a bit like the safe approach rather than showing us something new for its big final fight. But hey, it's far, far from all bad. One of the best scenes of the film was, of course, that heartbreaking highlight of Thanos sacrificing Gamora for what he believed to be the greater good. It was the only way for him to achieve his goal, and for him, that's a selfless, heroic act. Something that really does make Thanos an interesting character, and I buy into him completely here. It sucks to see Gamora go out this way, though, as because she didn't fade to dust in Thanos' half-universal genocide thing, she might not actually come back alive. I think that they may find a way to reverse, as I said, that half-genocide thing, but I think that the characters that died before that may not come back. I don't think Loki's going to come back either. But, look, maybe he will. He's died before, right? Star-Lord's reaction to Gamora's death was impactful as hell too. I love that he couldn't contain his rage. To a degree, we see that Star-Lord is still somewhat immature here, but still contains real, raw emotion, and this scene surely highlighted that. Another scene of surprising impact was Loki's death, not because Loki died, I don't even like Loki, to be honest, but because of Chris Hemsworth's performance behind Thor's reaction to it. True tragedy was portrayed here, and it really shows how much Thor as a character has come to endure. Next up is something I was so excited to see. Red Skull is freaking back, man. I never thought that would happen. I've wanted it from the start. He's mysteriously on some other planet somewhere right now, where one of the Infinity Stones was, and is also being like super dementory right now, and is kind of creepy. But that's okay, because Red Skull is back, and I can't wait to see what's in store for one of the other best villains of this franchise. But anyway, the mystery as to what's going to happen next was a brave new step for Marvel, as it was kind of frustrating to a viewer. In a good way though, it makes me need to see more and find out what's next. I love that the villain won in the end, because that's something that never happens lessons and will now make us think twice next time one of these movies comes out. The hero doesn't always win anymore, as we've seen here, and the stakes may actually be confronting next time they first appear. I hope Marvel continues with this approach. I'm still sure everything will be fine in the next one though, and that everybody's going to come back to life soon enough. This is definitely not the ending of the series, and I didn't really feel like it was the, be all end all kind of thing. This was clearly not the final chapter. It set up way too much to just fall to its knees now. Fortunately, I'm confident Marvel is still a long time coming, and I can't wait to see what's next. Another thing that I've been thinking about though is that I just wanted to mention the after credits scene. There's Nick Fury and what's her face, and they're together, whatever, blah blah blah, and then they fade to dust, and Nick Fury desperately tries to send a message to who turns out to be Captain Marvel, which is cool. I mean, Captain Marvel's going to be an important character in the series. I'm excited to see it, but I just wish it was something that we didn't know already. Like, we already knew that a Captain Marvel movie is coming. We already know that. I wish it was an X-Men symbol or a Fantastic Four symbol or something. I wish it was some exciting nerdy shit like that. That would have been really cool, but look, I can't really complain. It's not a fault of the movie. That was just something that came straight to mind. That's all.